Hello. Hi, Bonnie. How are you tonight? Glad you could come. Pardon me. Still have my cough. I guess that'll be an ongoing thing, but um did you get much of the storm yesterday? All that big hail, and we had hail and it was the size of fit in my husband's hands. I thought it was going to break our windows up top. Excuse me. So can you hear me and can you see me? Just a yes or a no is fine. Just in the comments. Got fun cards tonight. Quick, easy. Oh, that's good. I'm glad you didn't. Yeah, we didn't have any damage either. Well, broke one of the vent shades on our car, but other than that, just a mess of the leaves and the branches. We didn't have any other damage, so very lucky. Very, very lucky. So we'll just give it another minute, see if anybody else pops on. And I don't know if you have your catalog handy, but I'm going to be working from Frames and Flowers, and it's on page 29 of the annual catalog. And it's so quick, so easy to make projects from this. It's just awesome. Yeah, we had to go into Kobe today, and it didn't look like they had like there was no leaves on the road, or we went down Talbot River Road, and there was no branches or leaves, or it looks like they didn't even get it. Whether they did or not, I don't know. It is pretty, isn't it? The paper's lovely. And there's 3 pages of not stickers, but punch outs. And 3 pieces, 3 sheets of 12 by 12 DSP. And there's pattern on one side, and one of them is plain, and then there's a bit of I'll show you when we get into it. Well, I'm going to turn the camera down, and if anybody comes, they come. If not, it's you and I, Bonnie. Just hang on. Let's see if you can see me. Or see my desk. I got my host code there, and trying to get rid of the glare from the lights that I have, but kind of hard. It doesn't do. Much. Maybe I can pull it down this way a bit, my camera. We get settled here. It would be good. Okay. So here's, before I show you the paper, here is the 3 pages. Here's what's left of the punch outs. I just punched everything out because As soon as I picked it up, they were just falling out. So there's 6 different frames, and then a strip of DSP. And then these were all punch out sleeves and flowers, and the same with this one. So it's been a lot of fun, and for someone who's just learning, it's a great way to get the feel of how to do something. So I've only used one sheet of, I've only cut up this sheet here of the DSP. The rest has come from all the punch outs. But there's this sheet, and it has this pattern on the back. That's on the back, which is pretty. Pardon me. And then there's this piece of DSP that was in the strips, and that was the punch out down the center. And it's a pretty piece of paper. It's got quite a pinkish background. I guess it's the same as this, but it's just a strip. There's nothing on the other side of it. So there's the full sheet. And on the back it's just plain. It's kind of a multi look, but it's Lost Lagoon. And then this is the third piece, and it's got little flowers, and so you get little orange punch out flowers, and there's the other side of it. I haven't done anything with these 2 sheets, not yet. So I did watch a girl, and she was making like 30 cards just out of this pack, and I thought, wow, that's awesome. But yeah, so I'm gonna put this back in my folder so I don't lose it, because these frames, you could use these frames on a card. The frames that framed some frames. Anyway, probably sounds silly, but let's see if I can get it back in. It's this piece that wants to give me the trouble. Wants to stick to everything. Oh. I don't want to lose anything, or I'm going to, I think I may be sorry if I did, but I don't know how to get it back in here. Let me just put another piece of solid paper behind all of this, and then maybe I could get it in that way. Oh, isn't this silly? Maybe I shouldn't have taken it all out. Oh well. Okay. Hopefully we got it here. Then I can get it in the packaging. Oh. Come on now, be nice. Play nice. You live in here, so you have to go back. Huh. It's not being very cooperative. Oh. That piece didn't want to go. Oh. Alright, I'll just leave it like that and we'll work on that later. I will. So all my punched pieces are all, except for the ones that I have to do for my cards, are all in here. So it came with, when I showed you that one sheet with the 6 die cuts, like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then all the punch outs. Like here's some with where you could stamp a sentiment on it, and you could use these with other stamp sets as well. But there's wreaths already made up, and they're so pretty. They're just so pretty. And there's you know, like little bouquets, and you know, like a partial wreath. And there's another one with the flowers. No, I hadn't given it a second look either, and then I seen somebody working on it, and I thought, oh, is that ever pretty? So that's when I decided to take a closer look, and I thought, well, I can get it and see what happens, and I'm glad I did. But there's just, you know, all these little flowers that punched out, and the greenery, and the boughs. Like there's, look at that. Like that's just so, so pretty. And this one, bouquet. I guess there's a couple of those. And they're not all identical, so, and there's, you know, just some leaves, and there's some boughs. Just all kinds of little bits and pieces. So I've had a lot of fun, you know, coming up with putting some cards together. So tonight should go fairly quick. So this should go back in the bag easier. Because I do have stuff already to go. So there was no die cutting. Well, I did do some die cutting. Because I wanted different things for my sentiment. And I used an older, I don't know if it's retired or if it's in online exclusives. I didn't look, but it's one of my favorites, and it's called oh goodness, Thoughtful Moments dies. So it comes with the dies and an embossing folder, and the embossing folder says, you know, there's thank you, oh happy day, thinking of you, love you, hello, with sympathy, you make me happy, celebrate, just because, and get well. So you can make a lot of cards with just those. So I cut a bunch of them out in different colors, and this, I even tried stamping inside here. This doesn't come off on your paper, but it goes in this way, and it clicks right in around those words, and you would put your piece of paper on top of that and put it, like, close it, put it through your embossing folder or your die cut machine, and it punches out all the sayings. I'll just throw a couple down. I did put some black on the embossing folder so you could see what that looks like. So there's some of the pink ones. They did, some of them came out good and some of them didn't, because I was a little worried. So there's some I did in white and some in green. And I did a few in Lost Lagoon and Pretty Peacock. So, nice. I like that set. It's pretty good. But I don't know if it's still available to purchase. I'll have to look at the online store. But if you were interested, let me know. And I may be able to do something about it. Excuse me. And I also use Stylish Shapes. And I used mostly the banner and the largest circle. The large banner. These ones are a mess because I haven't got them on my board yet. I used this one and this one on pretty much all these cards that I'm making. So, let's get to it. See how many cards we can get done and how quickly. Everything is prepped because all I had to do was punch it out. So I did most of that this afternoon. And, so, we'll go through some and then I'll show you the one that I did make. So, let's do this first. So we have a piece of, would you like the dimensions for these, Bonnie, or? If you want them, reach out to me and I will give them to you. Almost all the cards are, oh goodness, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And the insides are all the same. The insert layer is 4 by 5 1/4, and whatever you put on the side is the same. It's the same length or width, like this way or lengthways. So I took a piece of soft sea foam, and first of all, I'm going to do tell me I didn't bring my tape in here. Yeah, I got one. I'm just going to put my silicone mat in front of me. And I'm going to put this on the inside. I mean, there's not much to that. I'm not going to decorate the inside other than just a little strip of DSP, because I don't know what it'll get used for. Once I know, I think I'm going to put it this way. Doesn't look even though. No. We'll try it. Yeah, they are pretty, the card sizes are pretty standard. There's one here that, well, this one here has a couple of dimensions, couple pieces that are a little different. No, this kind of has a bit of a direction, but I'm just going to leave it a little bit of a border. And I think I'm going to have to cut because it's not straight. Excuse me. Okay. So that's the inside. Normally I wouldn't if I was putting something on the inside, I would stamp it first and then put it inside. So then I took a piece of Granny Apple Green, and it is I get a better measure on my rule with my cutting, with my trimmer. So this is 2 inches by 5 1/4. I think that's right, 5 1/4. Yeah, 2 inches by 5 1/4. Even the grid paper I like better for a measurement. Just gonna open this drawer and use it as a little table. So I'm just gonna stick this down. A lot of this is just done with dimensionals as well. So I'm going to put this on the left side, kind of leaving a border at the top and the bottom. And then I took a piece of Pretty Peacock, and it is three and nine sixteenths. I mean, you could go 3 and 5/8 if you wanted, or 3 1/2. I just wanted that extra little bit there, and it is 4 3/4 inches long. And I'll just put this down. And I'm going to leave myself a border on this side. Oh, how did I do that now? Huh. Oh, goodness. Well, let's hope it doesn't. So rub that in, or rub that down. Then I'm gonna take my circle, and it's also garden green. It's the largest circle in the stylish shapes. And then I'm going to just add, this is one of the punch outs. So I'm just going to add it around the circle. And this was one of the punch outs that I made with that. And it says, love you. And that could go to anybody. It could go to one of your kids. It could go to your husband. It's, neutral gender. Like there's no, you could give it to your best friend. I mean, it really doesn't matter. So I'm going to put the circle flat. And I want it just a little bit on the other side there. And I used also on this Love You, I took the Stampin' Right marker in soft seafoam and just use that to go around. I don't know. I don't know if it was good or bad, but it came out, so worked pretty good. I just need my dimensionals here. Okay. And we'll use some big ones. I'm going to use this page up first. And you can be as generous as you want with your dimensionals. Yeah, the colors are beautiful. And I didn't tell you, it says on the back of the packages, of the package of paper, the colors that correspond with this. And there's a lot of colors. Early espresso, garden green, granny apple green, lost lagoon, old olive, petal pink, pretty peacock, pumpkin pie, shaded spruce, and soft seafoam. So that's a lot of colors, a lot of greens, a lot of different greens. Well, I'm not going to waste these little ones, so... They're all, doesn't matter, they're all the same. Whether they're, I know some women that get their dimensionals, their large dimensionals, they cut them all right in half. They only use half dimensionals. So, let's take this off. I wished I'd brought a little container to put all these little bits in, but that's all right. Well, I'm glad you're hanging with me there, Bonnie. Cards you showed me were beautiful, that you do. Okay, so now I'm just, with this on dimensionals, I'm just going to put that on here. I want to cover up too much of the circle, but... And then I'm going to put dimensionals on this as well. And I may have to use some of these pieces because it's... Oh. That one didn't want to come off right. Now, this is where I gotta get serious here. Put a piece there. Oh, well, was gonna use that piece. We can use this one. I'll just cut it off where I need to. If I can get it off. Arthritis in my left hand is just terrible. Makes it really hard to do some things. Okay, make sure I cut that there. And then I need, I guess I could use, I don't know if that's too big for a full dimensional. Yeah, but maybe a half a dimensional would fit on that. Maybe. I don't want it falling down. That's why I'm doing this. Okay. That's it. There was no special jewels or gems that came with it. I guess if you wanted to use something, you could. I'm just going to go over this with a little bit of Wink Castella very gently. And I'll put a little bow on it. And we'll be done. You can add a little bit of to the greenery if you wanted. Here and there. I just kind of picked on these lighter green ones. And I was going to put a little bow on there. And I think I'll just do it right there. If you have any questions, or it is, and it's to have something like this is nice, because if you need a card really quick, and I mean sometimes you do need it really quick. I mean, it's so easy to put one together. So I'm just going to stick a little bow down here out of baker's twine. I have to trim the ends a little bit, but not too much. Come off there. I cut that dimensional in half. It didn't want to come off my scissors. Okay. So, one quick card. I'm not going to put it in the envelope. We'll just put it to the side. All right, for their next one. It's just so quick. So, what I have is the same standard 5.5 by 8.5. Scored at 4 1/4. And on the inside, my insert is 4 by 5 1/4. And I could put this side up, which maybe I will, because it matches that. Just for a change, because they all have the same piece. Oh, I like to give about just a little bit at the bottom, above the bottom of the, so that the other one was a little bit too long. This one's just a little bit too short, but I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, I'll just use my tape. I should be on my mat, and I'm not, because that would be too easy. And we'll just put that on the inside. Okay. I'm not sure if this one is going to go this way. I absolutely love this wreath. I'm getting out of your view, I can tell. So we'll come back up. And I have a piece of Pretty Peacock. Now, isn't that one pretty? And it is Three 3/4 by excuse me, 5 1/8. Actually 5, I'm sorry. So I'm going to just put this down. You could emboss this, but I couldn't think of what embossing folder I would use that would enhance this pattern or these I just couldn't think of anything that would, oh. So it's a little wider on the sides, but so we'll put that on dimension. And I thought I would just tuck one of these, a leaf, and this little flower petal in here, like that. And then I have this just because. Like sometimes you like to just give somebody a card just because you want to give them a card. You can put anything you want on it, but this is what I thought I would do. So let's get the dimensions. A lot of dimensionals on this one. I did put that down, yep. All right. We got another part pack here. I like to use them up, but sometimes I take everything, I'll sit in the kitchen and do everything because it gets stuffy in here, and unless I open the windows, but then I miss everything. I'm nosy. Mind you, all I can see from when I sit at the kitchen table is out to the lake. But it's nice to see the hummingbirds and all just the birds in the water, boats. Come on. Giving me a hard time here. I know, it seems like a lot of dimensionals. But well, there must be something. Something going on, Bonnie. It's just you and I. Okay, I'm going to take the dimensionals off of here if I can. My hands will let me. I could use my take your pick tool. Which would probably be a good idea. I just use my little pokey tool. A little quicker anyway. That's it. I think I'm going to get rid of these ones that are in front of me because I'm going to either be wearing them or they're going to be stuck on my cards. I find these little dimensionals everywhere. How about you, Bonnie? Hi, Janet. Thank you so much for coming. It's been Bonnie and I hanging out here tonight. We're using the frames and flowers and frames on page 29 of the annual catalog. I didn't see you come in. So we'll put that down with our dimensionals. And then I think I'm just going to use a little bit of glue and just tuck that under. I don't know if I even want to tuck it down too much. Enough to keep it over, but do you have this one, Janet? Or did you see it in the catalog? It's kind of a sleeper. It's easy to miss. But it's just poke outs, and then you do whatever you want with it. So this, before, I'll put it down, and then I'm going to use mini dimensionals on here, and I'm just going to use Wink of Stella. I could take the backs off as I go, too. I could. Seems like overkill with the dimensionals, but it's a long strip. Okay. Now I could take my Stampin' Write soft seafoam marker. I guess I should not have put a dimensional on that part because it's already popped up. So I'll just put a little touch of glue there. Keep it down. If it comes out. Come on. Ooh, not that much. There. Just hold it for a second. And you really don't need anything else. Are the items in the catalog bookmarks? You can make bookmarks out of it. You mean this one? You can make bookmarks out of it, but yes, it is. And in the index at the back, the very last page there, I think it tells you but you might have to explain to me a little bit more, Bonnie. So I'm just going to put Wink of Stella, Gentle Hand, and just the raised part is all you want to really color with the Wink of Stella on here. Or I say you could use your Stampin' Write marker in soft seafoam if you have it. I know it doesn't show up very well on camera, but in person, it's actually quite lovely. And you could always, if you wanted, go over it again. But I'm not going to bother with this one at this time. So I think that's it. And that's our second card. There's our first card, Janet. So that was our first card. And this is our second card. And I did say I was going to tie a bow, didn't I? So I will tie a bow unless I made it already. Nope. I guess I didn't make one in there. We'll just tie a tiny little bow and put it on there. Doesn't need to be very big, that's for sure. There's not much room for a bow, but it's something. They don't show any gems. I guess you could use you could use whatever you like to put on your card. It's just this set doesn't have a special embellishment. I don't want to. There. Once I get the knot made, I can fix it, but it's getting it made. That's why I try to do them ahead. It's still too big on the one side because I really don't think it needs a very big bow. And I thought just right there. Tags. Yes, it does show on the page you could make some tags. And I was actually going to make one. And I can do that next week with this paper and show you how it's done. It's kind of a unique little, I guess you could use it for, a little gift or something. Yes. Okay, I'm just going to stick that right there. And I'm going to cut this end off as match the other one. And there we go. There's our next card. So that's 2. We're doing pretty good here. So we're going to do this one. And it's going to go this way. Oh, here we go. No, they're all, these ones all seem to have soft sea foam. I just couldn't. See, that was the ones I had put the black memento on the stamp case, on the embossing folder, and stamped with it. But so this is the same. This is 11.5, scored at 5.5. So it's 4.25, scored at 5.5. And then this little piece here is, oh, it's 4 by 5. I think that's what it is. 4 by 5.25. So the 5.25 is at the top. And I don't know if this is directional or not directional, but we're just going to put it down like this. Did you get any of that storm that went through here last night? Or, yeah, it was, I think last night, wasn't it, Bonnie? Yeah, you can make lovely tags with this. Okay. So then there's our insert. And I'm just going to put a piece across, I'll put it across the bottom, and it's about 1/2 inch, and this is 5.25. So basically it's an insert 4 by 5.25. I don't know what I'm thinking. And I glued that, and I wanted to, or I put tape on it, and I wanted to glue it. I have to cut it off, and I don't like to use my good scissors. There they are. We had a terrible storm here yesterday. We had hail. It was the size of, I have a picture of it, and it's the size of the palm of my husband's hand. It was just amazing. But we didn't have any damage, which was a good thing. Broke one of the vent shades on the car, but that was it. Oh, why can't I get this in here straight tonight? Because my finger is stuck to it. Okay. So, on the front, again, I took the largest stylish shaped circle. Yeah, you were lucky to miss that. And I'm going to go to the left with this. Everything has kind of been to the right, and I'm going to go to the left with this. And I'm going to pop this up on dimensionals. And then I have You Make Me Happy that I'm going to put there. And I'm just going to throw some Wink of Stella on it, let it dry. Am I still in your view or am I out of your view? So I was hoping to do 2 more cards, but we'll get to it. We'll do those next week. Because I don't want to, that's been an hour, I don't want to keep you any longer. I think that's long enough. I don't know if you know about flicking with your Wink of Stella, but I'll show you when we get this down. So here we go, dimensionals again. I've been having a party with dimensionals here. I don't know. I think that should be enough. Unless I put a little one on at the end there. Down here. Okay. So I'm going to just put this on the end, or on the side, not on the end. And I hope this is dry. I think so. I can put some dimensionals on it. And I can always go over it. I think that's too big for up there. I think you would see it. Even this one, I don't know. Doesn't want to come off my finger, so I can't tell. No, you can't see that from there. So maybe this one will be okay. No, I think it's too big. So I'm just going to take a little piece off of this one. There we go with the sticky. I just put that on there. I don't know if this other one will... maybe just fit down here. Well, let's hope this is enough. We'll take the dimensionals off, or the backs of the dimensionals. And we're just going to put that right across there. And that card's finished. Now I would go over that again with Wink Estella. So there's 3 cards. Do you want to see the other 2 or wait till next time? Wait till next week. They're fairly quick cards. Up to you, girls. What do you think? Should we call it a night, or should we go on? Okay, just, I will do the, I can show the rest. I will show the rest, but this is the one that I did today, just so you can see it, Bonnie, before you go. And I'll show them all again next week. But this is the one that I did earlier. The pack is so pretty. So I just have 2 more, Janet, and so I'll do them, and so you can have an idea of what we did tonight. Now I could also put a bow on here, and actually I have one. So why don't we just do that? Just use it. It's a double bow, so we just use a glue dot. And I think I'll just put it. And I don't want to cover up the words. Oh, I'm going to have to leave it there. Because I pulled it off and it's... there. That doesn't cover up the writing. There. So I've just been using the twine for... to decorate them. Because they don't come with an embellishment. You could use anything that you have on hand, but... So here's the next one. This is all just cutouts from, not even cutouts, it's punch-outs from that paper. I made the bow ahead of time for this one. So this is a very easy one. as well. And we'll just go quick with this. So this is a regular 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25. So I'm just going to put that in there. If you were going to stamp your sentiment on this, and I'm not because I don't know what I'm going to use it for at this point, I would do that before you glue it down. Because if you have a mishap, you know you can always turn it over and use the other side. And then, what did I do with my little strip? Right there. I'll just take a little bit of glue. And it's these are just so quick. If you wanted a card really quick, you could use this. And it would be truly a very quick and easy card. And just leave about 1/4 of an inch at the bottom. Or that's what I do. That's the inside. So then I'm going to take this piece of Lost Lagoon and I'm going to put it on top. And I think it's 4 by 5.25. Same as the mat. Oh, yep. There's just so many things that you could do with this. So many things. Oh, I'm glad you're still here, Bonnie. This honestly and truly is a very quick card. Oh, there it is. I think what takes the longest is getting the dimensionals on. Okay. So I'm going to take these. And my big decision was, which way do I put this down, this wreath? And I didn't know if I wanted it that way. So I decided to go with this way. Going up closer to the top. And then I have my banner, which I did from Stylish Shapes, the largest banner. And to keep it straight and even, I'm going to cover up just a little bit of that bottom of that wreath. And again, this is, I've put everything, I'm popping everything up because it just looks so much nicer. And there's not, really is not a lot of work to these, so I think what took me the longest was punching everything out. Mind you, a lot of it just, it just fell out. It was kind of crazy, really. So we'll put that across there. And then I'm going to just, I think I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on this and put it right there. Because everything else has popped up. We'll just put this down. This way. And I have a little bow, a little glue dot. And because those glue dots are bigger than this bow, you have to kind of roll it in your fingers to make it like a little burrito. And I'm just going to put it at the end of this piece of greenery. And I'm going to take, I cut this out of the Pretty Peacock, and it says Get Well. And I'm going to put it down, and then I will put Wink of Stella on it. And I probably shouldn't pop it up, but I'm going to. And I should probably be using the minis. And I think that's what I'm going to have to continue with, is the mini glue dots. Wherever they went. Right here. There. So just get the backs off. And I'm going to put that right there. And I'll take my Wink of Stella. And I will just practice a couple times if you're going to write with this, because it's, you don't want it to gob out if it's something you're not used to. Not that I'm any great expert with it, but just from my experience, sometimes it does glob out. Sometimes you can tell when it's getting a little bit weaker. You know, there's not as much coming out on the brush, and you need to fill up the well. Excuse me. Isn't that pretty? You can also, if you wanted to use this, you can also, I'm just looking for something to hit it with. Okay, I'm going to do this. You can take your Wink of Stella and just hit it like this. And it will give splatter all over your card. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it works really well. And it's, I guess, hard to see, but I guess you can see that, can't you? Okay, so that's that one. One more left. And then I thought I better quit today. Okay. So, with this one, we have, this was one of the borders. Instead of like a wreath or the, this is a border. I have a piece of soft sea foam, which is 4 by 5 1/4. A piece of old olive, and the same, it's scored at, it's 5 1/2, and it's scored at by 8 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. And then I have a little piece for the bottom here, same old, because I didn't want to cut into the other DSP. So I just used the same one. And I'm just going to use my tape again. And try to be quick with this one. Whoops. Oh, see, I made a bow for that one ahead of time. That's a bonus. Pretty painful sometimes trying to watch me make a bow. I used to be so good, but as the arthritis got worse, it became a problem. Okay, so then we're going to glue this down as well. And as I say, if you have an embossing folder that you would like to use, by all means, go ahead, use it. Oh, I think I'm out of tape. I think it ran dry. Okay, so I'll just glue it. Rather than get up. I'll just use my glue. It was very seldom you ever seen me use the tape to put a card together. But sometimes you just have to do things a little bit different. Whatever works for you, that's what you do. Yep, with Wink of Stella. I've done it on some cards, especially my Christmas cards. It's beautiful. Really, really is beautiful. Okay, and this is going to get glued right down. I could pop this one up too, but I think I'll just glue it. Now that's a pretty frame already made, isn't it? Okay, so then I have my banner from the Stylish Shapes, and it's the largest tag banner, and I'm going to put it right about here, but I am going to pop it up a little bit. I think 3 should do it. Almost done. And I think I'm going to go right about here with this. And I did do Celebrate. And I'm just going to glue this one down. So just probably the fine tip glue would have been a better idea. But I know if I got the bottle out, worked fine earlier, but if I got it out now, I'd probably be having to unplug it. So we'll just do it this way. But by all means, if it was you doing it and you wanted to pop it up, then go for it. And you could just put that on there like that. And I'm going to use my Wink of Stella again. I thought this one was really pretty with the Wink of Stella. And you just want to do the fine lines on the writing. You don't want to do the whole thing. Well, I didn't want to. That wasn't what I was looking for. I just wanted to get the embossed pieces popped up. Okay. And then I thought I would put this little piece just down in here. And I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on it. Not going to glue the whole thing. Sure, I'm going to put glue on it. And I'll just kind of turn it sideways. And then I have this little sign that says, "Oh, happy day." And it's in white. And I am going to use it the same way I use the Wink of Stella. And I'm just going to go around the embossed part of the letters. And once this is done, I'll add my bow and we're finished. And I'm kind of rushing, and you just need to be a little bit patient with this part so you don't make a mess. It's nice you have a day off tomorrow, Janet. Does that mean you work a weekend day? Once I've got this done, if I wanted, I could also go over that again, or I could go over it with Wink of Stella. But at this point, I'm just going to, it's already dry, so I'll just put a couple dimensionals on here. Oh, well, you need to get yourself something, some cards to do. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you heal quickly and you don't suffer any ill effects. Okay. So that's our card. Plus, we can put a little bow on here if we want. We can just put it down here in the corner, or we can just leave it off. I seem to have a glue dot stuck to my finger now. I wonder if it would come off on that card. It probably would come off on the card. Okay. All right. So, I think that's 5 cards. So there's that one. So we have this one. And this one. I should clean my desk off so you can see. And this one. We have these two. I'm trying to make room here. And then these are the cards that we made tonight. So we made 5 cards tonight. That was pretty good. That timing was not too bad. Which one do you like? This one? This one that I'm holding? Or that one? Oh, Happy Day. Yeah, it's cute, isn't it? It's cute. Okay. So, I will make a draw for one of these cards. And I will be sending it out. So, I always like to wait till the next day because there's a lot of people that watch the replay or they can't come on until later. And yes, see you next week, Bonnie. Have a good one. I'm going to turn the camera over. Okay, there we go. That's better. Yeah, so I will draw for the cards, but I won't do it until tomorrow because a lot of people won't be able to watch it until tomorrow. And yeah. Anyways, I'm going to say good night. Don't forget the joining special is on until the end of the month. Yesterday was Tuesday, 21st. Was it yesterday or the day before? Was free shipping. I had posted that. And I do have my host code. If you need it, just text me. If you're going to shop my online store. If it's under... I said if anybody spent... if anybody joined, I would also send them a little gift. So anyways, I'm going to say good night. God bless. Everyone take care. And I will see you next week. Good night.